welcome back to another episode of the Rap and Wrestle Podcast. You guys know me, I'm Derek Gamble. You can follow Rap and Wrestle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Rap and Wrestle. Also check us out on YouTube and Apple Podcasts as well. Today, a very special day. Got a very talented young man, independent artist, Spec Kay. What's up with you, bro? How you doing, man?
Hey man, thank you for having me, Derek. Like we said in before before the off camera stuff, like I'm excited. I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you on, man. We got connected through a mutual friend, and I heard your music, and I was just like, this dude, man, he's very talented. There's a lot of music out there that you try to give a chance that it's kind of hard to listen to, but your music was like so easy for me to listen to, and like I was in just the first song I listened to, bro. Definitely talented.
Thank you
bro.
so much, bro. Like, thanks. Like, and I try to make it. Because music is like a two-way street, so I try to make it as enjoyable for like anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you can't see a show live and you really can't connect with the person, the only way you can make that good first impression is through like. It's kind of like baseball, through that song, that first at bat, you got that one shot to try to like let the people know who you are. So it's like someone in North Dakota who might never ever see me, like only way I can reach them is through putting out some good shit.
Yeah, no, definitely. See, that this was a question I was going to ask later on, but I'll jump into this one. If like you said, if it's that person in North Dakota or wherever in the world, and you had to play your favorite song that you made or your number one song that's going to say like, this is who Spec Kay is, like, which song are you playing and why should fans listen to that one?
Ooh, so should I give you the independent music record label answer or my personal song? Because it's like, you know how you got the song that's like the record label's like, yo, you better say it's this song because it's the song that's currently being pushed, or my personal favorite.
Nah, hey, whatever you think, man. I always ask people that because I'm always interested in what they would say. But some people go back to old songs when they first started. Some people give their new songs that they just dropped. I don't know, whatever you think is like special to you.
I would say, because the song I'm personally feeling the most out of my whole like discography and catalog is No Reservations. Okay. I dropped that about 2019, but it's still going to be on the new project coming out, and I think that it like encapsulates me as a person, in a sense of like it's a song that's kind of witty. The beat is very organic. The beat came from like I was watching The Wire and I heard the sample off The Wire, and I was like, I bet I gotta find what the fuck song this is. So I found that song and I was really listening. I was really feeling J-Rock's album, and he's got the song called Rotation 112. And I was like, yo, I want to see if I could like blend this with this and then talk fly shit on top of it. So that's No Reservations is the song that I would say encap that. Like if I'm like, here kid from South Michigan, bump this. Because that song is good enough for you to be like, oh, that's fire. I'm gonna see what else you got in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Now for me, when I got put on to you, the two songs that I heard, they told me 96 and Barry. That was like, I know that's like your latest ones that you've been promoting. Those two, I was just like, I listened to 96 first, and I just love that. That was like I feel like that was just like true hip hop to me. And then the Barry was like more soothing, more calming. You know what I mean? If you're just vibing out. What was like your mindset like for putting together both of these songs? And I also know you do like producing and stuff too. So I know you make beats. So like, did you do the beats for these and the everything for it?
Yeah. So for Barry, again, it's like you listen to music on your iPod and you're on a random station, and then you like, oh shit, this song is pretty fire. Let me like find it. Let me find the sample for it, or let me find the original and see how I can flip it. So Barry, I used like 3 samples from 3 different songs and I put them all together to make that. And I actually was on my IG story the other day. I made that beat last year and I didn't write to it until the top of this year and didn't release it until last month or 2 months ago. So it's like, and I say that just to say, like, the music process takes a long time, especially if you want it to be not organic in the sense of like if you want it to be as authentic and as true to self as possible, is like, like people hear a beat like, all right, go rap to it. I remember I was on my computer surfing through Reddit. I found the loop that like someone put out a free loop pack. And then I found the loop and I was like, I can't work with the original sound. So I manipulated it. And then it got a little darker and then it had that little bounce to it. And then I found this country song that I flipped and I sampled for that breakdown part. And I was like, I want to make a song that it has substance as far as like the lyrics, but if it went off in the club, people could actually, like, for lack of better terms, girls could shake their ass to it. You know what I mean? But if after they're done shaking their ass and they wanted to listen for the second play, that's like, oh, this nigga's actually spitting. Like that. So like that kind of like speaks to who I am as a person, is like, I like doing things that are juxtapositions, and try to sneak them in different and subtle ways. It's like that beat kind of sounds like it should be talking about very like materialistic and like very surface level things. But the first couple lines are pretty deep and kind of serious, and you don't expect that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I think that's another song that.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, definitely. You definitely like just tell by the way you're describing it. I definitely I like the beats on both of them. You did the beats on both of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like the beats on them, the vocals as well. And the first thing that caught me too was on 96 when you was like, see me in a rare state, you can call me Ric Flair. So I had the titles together with the wrestling and the rap. So I was like, oh man, I fuck with them heavy now. I definitely like this.
It's funny because and on the opening line, I say got a money making Mitch type pace with a little stone cold in the face. And then and then on actually No Reservations, I say because I'm into sneakers, so I say shoes is by Virgil, but I'm not DiBiase. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I like rap and wrestling they go well so hand in hand. So I'm glad that like those bars get picked up and they get appreciated whenever they get heard.
Yeah, definitely. So for you, did you always want to do like the beats and producing and the rapping as well? Was that always something for you, or was it just like it was something you picked up along the way?
To be honest, in the beginning of like wanting to actually like do music, I just wanted to be a producer. Like I'd say like, when you're like 10 years old, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to make beats because Dr. Dre makes beats, because Pharrell makes beats, So that's what I really wanted to do. But then I don't know. I'm very funny as a person, and a lot of rappers are funny, They can think on their feet really quick, They could put words together well. So I was like, oh shit, I'm kind of good at rapping and I kind of like it and I'm really good at it. So, and I really enjoy words. So I was like, all right, then let me just add that to the arsenal too as well. And then I kind of shifted more to just rapping and forgot about like wanting to make beats until it came time to actually find beats. And it's like, damn, I can't find beats, or it's like I'm online using like beats from other artists from popular songs. Is like I might as well try to make beats because I kind of know what I like and know how to like flip shit. So might as well just put both of them together again.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good trait to have for sure. If you're you don't really have to depend on other people, you know what I mean? Do you think that's kind of like, I feel like, because I've talked to a couple of artists and I feel like they don't just stick to one thing now. Do you feel like that's kind of like the new mindset of like the new artists, is to like put my hands into different things, so it's not like I'm just stuck to one category?
Yeah. I don't even think it's new because I recently found out that Outkast produced a lot of their own shit too.
Oh man.
So yeah, like a lot of stuff on Stankonia
Mm-hmm.
and Aquemini was produced by Outkast themselves. So Big Boy, Andre, and they had a third partner called DJ D. I might be quoting his name wrong, but whenever they get together, they're billed as producers on their albums.
Oh
And
wow.
Eminem produced a lot of his stuff too. ASAP Rocky produces some of his own records. I think it just comes from a knack of like knowing, when you know what you need to. It's like what you're doing right now. It's like you're
Mhm.
producing a podcast and you
Yeah.
are the host of the same podcast. It's like you know how to execute and you know what you want, you know where you want to push it. But I don't think it's new. I just think it's now in the forefront that you see a lot of artists wearing multiple hats.
Got you. Yeah, definitely. Nah, it makes a lot of sense, man. I feel like back in the days, you just hear like somebody was producing their own music. You just felt like that just meant they were standing in the room while somebody else was doing it. And I feel like maybe because I'm more deep into it now, I actually see people doing the work. So it's like I get it more because I'm older now. And I'm like, I actually see these guys doing the work, instead of just being like, before we couldn't see it that much.
Yeah, and it's like you never knew what was the role of the producer because like what is it? Because and it's like, oh, are you a producer? Are you a beat maker? Or are you the engineer? It's like what are you, the executive producer? So it's like a loose title, but
Yeah.
like yeah, you're right. It's like who's in the room with you as you make this? Like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was always weird to me too as well. And I didn't know what the role of a producer was in the beginning. I thought I was just a beat maker.
Yeah, true. So for you, how did your story start? Like, how did you get into music? Kind of like tell people like where you're from, like how it all originated for you.
I'm from Roselle, New Jersey, small town. I like to tell people I'm 15 minutes away from Newark Airport,
Yeah.
and born in Newark. So and I'm Nigerian, and so both my parents are Nigerian. We moved to Roselle in '96. Um, I want to say it started in fifth grade because when you're young and your parents control the car radio, you really can't listen to anything that has any swear words. You especially in the East Coast, like where I'm from, is like you got like top 40s radio. That's all you can listen to in the car. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But once you start to like develop your own identity, that's when your ears start to like cling to things. And for me, it was rap music. So uh, I remember I always have it in my head like the first time I went to Georgia because I didn't have cable growing up. So the first time I went to Georgia, I saw "The Way I Am" by Eminem and "Southern
Mm-hmm.
Hospitality" by Ludacris, and I'm like, yo, whoever made this Ludacris beat is fire. Turns out turns out that was the Neptunes. This white cat rapping, I don't know who this dude is. Eminem dude. It's like this is how Eminem looks like. This dude is fire.
Yeah.
And then that was like the building blocks. And then I think when I started taking it and like started like deep diving into music, I remember it was like I don't know if you're from the East Coast. You're from the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in Jersey too.
Oh, where? So you remember when it would be like 12 o'clock on the Throwback Thursdays on the radio on Hot
Mhm.
97? They'll
Yeah.
play all old stuff. So I remember they played "Can't Knock the Hustle" on the radio,
Yeah.
and I was like, let me listen to this song to see what he's saying. This is my first time listening to "Can't Knock the Hustle." I just know the beat was dope. So then I leaned my ear in, and I'm like, yo, this Jay Z fella, this Jay Z fella is onto something. Like he
Yeah.
could really spit. So those are the three. That was like the three foundations for me when it came to rap. And then as I got older, I started exploring with other musics like jazz, like funk, rock. soul and all that stuff, and just getting deeper into just the love of music actually through samples. So like rap kind of sprung me off into other musics because we find things and we reinterpret them in rap music.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you feel like since that time you first started listening to music to like right now, like your music interests have kind of like changed? I feel like for me, like when I first started listening to music, it was like strictly hip hop. Like the first thing I ever listened to, first artist I ever listened to was Tupac. Like somebody dubbed me a tape. This is back with cassettes. Somebody dubbed me a cassette. They gave me his album that was out at the time. This is like the one that had How Do You Want It on it. It's like that
Ooh,
was like
that's
the
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me. So that's like a classic to be like the first real hip hop that you're listening to. So like I had that, but now it's like my music is everywhere, man. I listen to whatever. I'm not just like stuck to just one realm. Do you feel like that's kind of like happened to you as well?
It's funny you said that because I had that exact same story in a sense of someone dubbed so someone gave my first hip hop cassette was the Marshall Mathers LP.
Mm-hmm.
Someone gave my brother a dub, or I found it in the house. I don't know how it came into my house, but I found it and I ran that shit through the ringer. But now, yeah, I go record shopping and I picked up a George Benson live album,
Oh, wow.
and this dude is like probably one of the best like jazz guitar players I've ever came across. I picked up some Rick James, Pointer Sisters, Ohio players. I'm listening to it. Like I said, I'm listening to a lot of R&B now, a lot of older R&B, a lot of soul music, a lot of funk, some rare funk shit. I picked up this dude named Alton Gerald or Gerald Alton's record. This 1980s. He was part of the Manhattans. Um, it's like his first debut LP. The drum sequencing is like some shit you hear on records today, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. So my palette of music now is just like all over the place. And then I'll just be listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers like every
Yeah.
so often. Tame Impala, like I just throw everything in there now.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I like that, man. It's like I feel like we're always just like when you're younger, you're just subjugated to like one thing, and it's kind of like you said, we had the radio at that time. It wasn't like now you can listen to whatever you want. It's so easily to just go on your phone and just get a song, download music. Back then it was just like the radio, especially in Jersey, it's like what we listening to, Hot 97. That's like the majority of what we're listening
That's
to.
it.
So
Yeah.
that's hip hop and R&B. That's all we listening to for the most part. Let's see if what do you consider like your genre of music? Do you label yourself or do you think you fit into a category?
Um, I think of it like mixed martial arts. I would say my my core study, like my core dojo would be rap, would be hip hop, right?
Mm.
But then it'll divert into like alternative rap. Maybe you have a little bit of trap rap in there. You'll have a little bit of like blues. So I really can't like pinpoint it to one thing, but like I said, just like mixed martial arts is like, oh, you're a jujitsu dude, and then you picked up wrestling. All right, and then you picked up Muay Thai. So then someone asks you is like, what's your fighting style? It's like I really can't answer that because I
Yeah.
know I try to get as much as I can in.
Yeah, no, I definitely I hear you on that. And I feel that's like another thing too. I don't know, maybe it's always been like this too. I feel like kind of like with the newer artists too, it's kind of harder to just label them as a certain type of thing. It's like you knew back in the day what rap was, you knew what rock and roll was, jazz, you know what I mean? But it's like
Yeah,
nowadays
true.
nobody really fits into like a mold of like, hey, I'm just a hip hop artist. I think everybody are just like artists.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
No, I kind of like it. I feel like it doesn't limit you. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of guys who kind of like I think like really started that trend. Like, guys like Drake, I would say, is kind of like a
Yeah,
big example of that. You know, he's a really good rapper. A lot of guys, they sing, but Drake can actually like just put out an R&B album if he really wanted to, and
True. Yeah.
people would really like it. So people
Yeah.
like him, I think even like, you know, like the younger guys that even some people like they get on them because they say like, oh, that's not real hip hop, like the Little Uzis, the Little Yachty's, and the stuff like that. Little Uzi, I love him. I think he's an amazing artist. And he's always said, I'm not a rapper. Like I'm an artist. That's what I am. Like, so don't try to limit me.
I do like the rapper in me, like the heart, like the kid who listens to that Jay-Z and listens to
Mhm.
that M. He he's still a rapper, and I
Mhm.
still consider myself a rapper. Um, in a sense of like how like you see like R&B singer is a vocalist, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like my vocalist is rap. Like I still consider myself a rapper, but I do consider myself like now like an artist, you know. But it's yeah, even myself, I still be trying to like figure it out too. Is like, am I just a rapper? Am I like I said, I make beats, so am I? Have I like erased that rap title and now I'm an artist? You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I try to yeah, I try to like I don't know. You're right. I just try to just let everybody know what I do, and you can hear what I do. So you hear me rapping. So like, oh, he does rap, so he is a rapper. Oh,
yeah,
he makes beats, so he is a musician. All right, so he's a rapping artist, you know?
yeah. No, definitely. I think, you know, I think there's like certain individuals that I listen to, and you know, for you, I would put you in this category as well. Um, you can, I think it's more of the label of just being real to yourself. Like you could tell when you listen to your music, like it's true to you. It's not like you just making up like a character of who you're trying to be. And I think
Uh,
that's the best. That's when people make the best music, when it's just like you're just doing you. So I think you could definitely tell that in your music, and you could tell people when they're not being themselves in their songs.
yeah. I feel like I always want to ask the question to the person who is doing that, who's not being themselves. Like, do you feel comfortable? Like,
Where
do you feel comfortable making this like, do you feel comfortable making that kind of music or this kind of song or putting out that kind of record? Like, how stressful is that for you? It's like just do like you know what I mean? I always ask myself, like, I don't know if I could ever push myself to do something. I think that's like at my ethos too, is like I just want to be as comfortable as fuck when I'm making music, bro. It's like
yeah,
and it doesn't mean it's not gonna be as deep or as rich or as because people think like, oh, you're being comfortable, you're being lazy, your music is not gonna sound, it's not gonna have substance. But it's like
mhm.
once you're authentic, it's always gonna have substance.
Yeah, definitely. You as an artist, how do you think you've progressed from the first time you made your first song to where you are now?
Um, Connecting with the audience. I know how to do that a lot better in the sense when I first made like my first little EP way back, um, it was trying to say a bunch of cool shit and witty stuff, thinking that's what's gonna impress people
Mhm.
from my, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, I know what's gonna impress people. I know what they want to hear versus like, let me let me go out into the world, listen to some shit, see some shit, experience some shit, and then impress them by connecting with them,
Yeah,
you know? And that's like a long journey. And I see that is the through line that I see with my music now.
definitely. If you weren't making music, what do you think you'd be doing?
Making films.
Making films? Oh yeah, yeah, into
Making
that?
films. Yeah, I went to school for film, so like I always saw it as like music as my girlfriend and like movies and television as my best friend, you know? So it's like if I'm not hanging out with my girl, I'm hanging out with my best friend.
True. Nice. So is it kind of like how you like produce your own music? Like you're the one like producing, directing, I should say, like your music videos and stuff like that?
It's more of a collaborative effort. A lot of the time, it's just it starts off with an idea that I have, and then I take it to I take it like a shooter, and we'll just sit down and we'll workshop it. And especially with working in video taught me that is like bring in as many people as you can who are willing to put an idea on the table because they're seeing it from their perspective, and that perspective might be better than your perspective. Because a lot of people who, especially with music, right, is like, oh, I think you should say it like this or do it like this. You're like, no, I'm the rapper. It's my production. You're just along for the ride. But it's like you want more input. So I don't ever try to be as like it's got to be my way or the highway when it comes to, especially when it comes to video.
Yeah,
Because you
nah, I
might hear
see.
the song and think something else than what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah, no, I kind of I like that. And I think that helps you be successful because that means you're willing to take criticism. So I like that you're open to that because that's what we all need to do. I think that's as humans in general, that's just a big thing for us. Like we could all be a lot better if we just took criticism, better.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
take it on the chin, it's like, it's just words. Like they might hurt in the moment, but if you could set your feelings aside and actually hear what that other person is saying,
hmm
like it might give you some insight that you might have never have thought of, or it might just fuck around to save your life or change your career, you know?
yeah. No, definitely that's definitely true on that. Um, So what would you say? Because like I said, like I told you, listening to some of the music, sometimes it's hard to listen to other people. But there's some great stuff out there from a lot of different independent artists. What would you say for you, for Spec Kay? What's the difference between you and everybody else that's out there?
Um, to sound funny, I'm just cozy as fuck. Like it's like I'm like you could come and listen to me and be very you could unguard. You can be very unguarded. It's like you don't
Mhm.
have to you can listen to me in any application of your life. If you want to turn up, I got shit for you. If you want to think, I got shit for you. If
Yeah,
you want to like mold over your problems and try to figure out, I got shit for you. So you could come unguarded and you don't have to uh the music molds to you versus you molding to the music. I make it with it's kind of like making an iPhone. I make it with the user in mind. I want
yeah,
them to share this experience and connect with this because it's an application for their life that's going to help them, whether it's in the background and it's something that's getting them through a bus ride or a train ride, or it's something that they're like actually listening to actually pick up some type of like counsel.
yeah. No, definitely. I hear you on that one. Um, let's see. So, outside of being a musician, you're a normal person, just like outside of podcasting, I'm a normal person. What would you say what are your hobbies outside of music?
Um, well, once I stop making music, I'm gonna find out. I would say,
I hear you on that.
um, I, I would say, damn, you really just pointed out that I ain't got nothing else in my life. Nah, I do collect sneakers. I
Okay.
collect sneakers. I'm big on that. I've been big on that because it's just like it's art. So like it's just art you can wear on your feet. So I'm big on just looking at new experiences, whether it's going to museums, traveling, doing shit like that. I recently, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, got into watching F1 racing. So I'm trying
Oh
to learn
wow.
that a little bit more. I think
Yeah.
that's something I would do. If I didn't make music, I would save up money and take up like driving school. If I didn't make music or wasn't trying to pursue film, I'd like take up driving school lessons just to be
Nah.
either like
Wow.
a race car driver or a professional stunt driver.
Damn, that'd be crazy, man. That'd be crazy. Them F1s are fast, bro. I don't
Bro,
know.
bruh, yeah, them shits is really quick. But like, I don't know. I outside of that, yeah, I'm just a regular dude, man. Do laundry, you know, try to pay my taxes every before April. I'm just a
I hear
regular
you.
dude.
When it comes to the sneakers, what type of sneakers are you collecting?
For me, is I'm strictly Nike. It started off with SBs because I was big into the skateboard culture. I never skated, but I was big into the fact that skateboard culture was so embracing of everything else. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the shoes were collaborating with like rappers. They had the De La Soul dunks. They had FM Doom. They had the MF Doom dunks. Um, and then a lot of it was just witty shit and funny stuff. So, and then now it's just like looking back, I didn't know that it was kind of just like art. It's just like walking pieces of art. And a lot of people are in it for the money, but I'm just in it for the art, you know?
Yeah, man. No, it's definitely a good way to look at it. I think any hobby or any any way you collect things, it can be looked at like that. Like, I'm into wrestling, so I'm like a big collector of like figures and stuff like that and belts. So that's my thing. We all got our own thing that we're, willing to spend our money on. 1 second, my bad.
No, that's cool. I was gonna ask you, when it comes to your collection of figures and belts, is it for like something to keep on the war chest once you're like 40 and you have like the man cave, you want to decorate and have it as things, or it's kind of like stuff you want to like collect and then trade with other enthusiasts, not to sell, but to be like, because that's like a community thing, right? It's like, yo,
Yeah.
I got a Bret Hart from '94. I've been looking for like an Ultimate Warrior. Like I know
Yeah.
how we could like barter something out.
Yeah, no, for me personally, I really don't know. It's more of a just collecting it. Like I don't open any of them. Like they're
Oh,
all,
really?
yeah, they stay in the box. Like they're fresh. I got them stocked up, man. And I don't know. I'm just at the point. I'm just saving them. There's just a whole bunch of different ones, and kind of like when Toys R Us went out of business, I went crazy, man. I don't even want to tell you how much I spent on them figures. Them figures, the figures they're usually pricey, like in the $20 to $30 range for them each. So they dropped them down to like they're like $8 each, and $5 each. Like I was going crazy, man. So, but yeah, no, I just keep them in a box. I'm trying to see, maybe later on maybe they'll be worse on them in mint condition, stuff like that. So
What's the
that's what I'm
oldest
at right
one in
now.
your What's the oldest one in your collection?
The oldest one I have two. Um, I have two. Like it's a Roddy Piper and a Ted DiBiase, right? And it's like
Ooh.
ring entrances, and it's like this is it's gonna sound really bad because I'm gonna tell you it's like straight up like an action figure, but it has like real clothes on it, like a doll type thing. So it sounds
No.
bad, but it's really
Uh-huh.
not. And you hit there's a button under them with a little stage, and you hit it, and it actually plays their entrance music. So that I probably had since I want to say like maybe like 2007. I've had those. So those are like 13 years old right there. Those are my oldest, but everything else is relatively like in that range of like being like 5 years, or every time I stop in the store, I always go down. I got a son, he loves coming with me down to wrestling now. We go down to wrestling now, and I see if they got something new that I want to collect, man. It's like it's
So
deep,
what's
man. It's
your
deep.
so what's your top three?
Top three
Top
wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh no, top three. All right, top three figures and then top three wrestlers.
I got you. Look, this is an interview for me now. You turn around. um, top three, I would probably say my top three figures I got. I got those two are like cherished to me, but I won't include those. I have an Undertaker one that's like Ministry of Darkness Undertaker with like the robe and everything. I got a Ric Flair one as well. That's like the same thing. It comes with the robe and everything. And I got a Shawn Michaels one. As Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart combo together with like the Winged Eagle Championship that they used to fight over all the
The
time.
Intercontinental Belt with the Intercontinental
The
Belt.
championship, the WWE with the
Oh,
big eagle on it.
oh,
It had that one, the
okay.
throwback. So I got that. So that's where it's at. Top three wrestlers. If I'm going all time, I gotta go. No particular order because it's hard to do that. Ric Flair, of course, that's my dude, man. I love Ric Flair to death. Shawn Michaels, and I would say The Rock, man. The Rock. I would say The Rock is a great athlete, great wrestler. I think there's a ton of guys you could put above him wrestling wise that are better than him, but I think just his character and his charisma alone like trumps everybody.
Oh, I think he perfected the celebrity wrestler.
Yeah,
Like he took it to another level. I used to not like Ric Flair because he was always a heel, like his whole career. He was,
yeah,
and I was always like the Boy Scout. So my favorites were always Bret Hart,
hmm,
um, Ultimate Warrior. But I did like Stone Cold because he was like I guess he was like an anti-heel or like
yeah,
a baby heel. That's what it's called, like a baby heel. He was like
yeah,
he was always the outlaw. You never know. He'll be bad for like a couple months throughout the year, then he'll be good. Then he'll have his own agenda, and I
hmm,
feel as though he kind of represents what like most, I guess, rappers represent. Is like they just represent themselves. I'll do this, and then I'll do that, and then I'll just do my own thing for a couple of like records or albums. So I always connected with. So I think Stone Cold is like my favorite wrestler, just because
yeah,
he's always his own person. He's always his own agent.
yeah. No, that's definitely true. What you gonna say? What? So let's talk about wrestling. Like, how has it been? Like, do you still keep up with wrestling? Like,
I
like you
keep
did.
it up through my older brother. My older brother is big into wrestling.
Okay.
He picked up two belts, the heavy Johns, like the
Yeah,
heavy like those authentic replicas. He
with the
picked those
metal.
up
Yeah.
2 years ago. I think he went to WrestleMania. He went to WrestleMania, the first
Nice.
WrestleMania like he's ever been to. For me, it all started with the bootlegs back in the day. Like
Uh-huh.
you'll record a pay-per-view and have it on tape.
Yep.
And my favorite pay-per-view was always SummerSlam. Like SummerSlam was always the fire. Like it was in the summer. Like the color of the color of the ring skirts was always dope. Like it was always that green. It was that
Mhm.
green and blue color. And then especially if it was in like the open air arenas,
Yeah.
that was always fire to me. And they always had the best matches. Like the Intercontinental from like in the 90s, the Intercontinental belt was like to me it was better than like that. It was better than the heavyweight title at some time because you had
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels always going for it, you had Bret Hart always going for it, and you had British Bulldog, and then they always built like these great like these family arc stories with the Hart Foundation in them. And then when you
Hmm.
had Stone Cold step on the scene, he was going after the Intercontinental before he jumped into like the heavyweight title. Um, and then like I think and then like you had like the way Macho Man came out in the ring, the way Ultimate Warrior came out in the ring is like you a hyper 6-year old and you hear like that music, you just bouncing around the crib.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny, man, that there's like a lot of people. I feel like wrestling back in the days, and I mean today kind of to an extent, it was one of those secrets like that you kept, you know what I mean? If you watch
You think
wrestling,
so?
yeah, I think so, man. I feel like some people kind of like ashamed, like, oh, if they watch wrestling, because wrestling was always kind of associated like somebody gonna tell you like, yeah, you know it's fake, right? It's like, yeah, I know it's fake. You watch movies that are fake, right? So it's like it's the
I
same
would
thing.
say
It's
yeah.
art. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
like
So
in like the 2000s, people were trying to like bust the wrestling bubble.
mhm,
Like like and that's when like I guess like at the tail end of SmackDown, when SmackDown was like within like 5 years in, that's when I started to trail off and pick up music a lot more and like diving into listening to the music. But
mhm.
I never understood why people would like, Buffy is fake too, but you still watch that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
let people do what they want, like, bro, like what's like, and so it's like
yeah.
the
It is
ex
what it
like
is.
people subscribe to what rap is fake. A lot of these rappers be
Yeah,
lying.
facts. That's definitely facts. That's crazy. Yeah, man. But it is what it is now. Is that now in my circle? I'm the wrestling guy, so it'll be mad funny. Somebody will be like, watch something on TV or watch a WrestleMania, and they'll be like, "Yo, did you see that?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I saw that." It's like, "What you think?" It's like, "Yeah," but it's
Why
hilarious,
are you even
man.
asking me this question? You know I did.
Yeah, it's just bad funny. But hey, man, they're making the effort, so I respect it. I definitely respect it. Um, let's see. During these times too, like like we were talking before this. I told you, when quarantine started and COVID and all that stuff. like it kind of forced me to be innovative, and that's how I created this show. For you, kind of like how are you staying relevant during all of these things?
It allowed me to quarantine allowed me to like face the things that I wasn't good at, which was like the marketing side. So I had to be relevant. You know, it's like you putting out a new album, so you need to like reach out to people. You need to be engaging on social media. You know, and I always say this to like my friends and people who are around me. It's like if I didn't make music, I probably wouldn't be on Instagram. I probably wouldn't have a Twitter because it's
Oh,
like
man.
I don't need I don't know. It's like I don't like me personally, I'm good. I'm good without all that stuff. But now that well, since I'm in these spaces, is like you gotta like market yourself on them. Like kind of what you're talking about with YouTube earlier is like, how do I like maximize my YouTube presence? How do I maximize my social media presence? So quarantine allowed me to do that by just some days I just hop on IG and just put up clips of me making beats. Like
Yeah.
I'll put up videos of me going record shopping. Um, so it's kind of like that good behind the scenes footage that allows the average listener or even new listeners to be like, oh, this dude is this is what he does. This is what it looks like to make beats. This is what it
Yeah.
looks like when you're like searching for like samples or when you're finding records or I put up like and they want to see the personality, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
put up like the sneakers that I wear, some of the fashion stuff that I'm into. Um, and like I said, I've always was uncomfortable with the whole like marketing and marketing yourself because I'm a very introverted person just by nature.
Yeah.
But so I created this way of explaining like I this satirical like satire way of like marketing is like, yo, the label told me I gotta remind you guys that you need to go listen to 96 or go listen to Russian when it comes out. Like
Yeah.
that's my way of like doing it and taking the pressure off me and putting it on this like invisible figure to make to make it easy for myself.
Yeah, nah, I hear you. Nah, I like that. That's pretty cool to actually do that. I think it's so funny you say that because I think your social media, like your presence, I think is really good. Like I looked at your page. That's one thing I'm always about. I always look at different artists and how they do their page and the way it looks. You know what I mean? Just because that's your portfolio. That I guess you could call it of who you are as a person. That's unless we meet in person, I'm not gonna know who you are except for looking at your profile
You
on
think my
Instagram.
social media is good? Like,
I like
like,
it.
and I'm not saying that in a bad way or a good way because I like you're coming from a person like I can't tell my ass from my elbow when it comes to the things like that. It's like
Yeah.
I don't understand. I understand how it works. I know I need to work and use the game, but I'm like I'm always second guessing myself. Like, yo, is the aesthetic right? Am I doing this right? It's kind of like, yo, am I
Nah, I
doing this
like it.
correctly?
Yeah, I like it. I like what you're doing. Like you said, making the beats is kind of like what I mean. You're giving people that inside view of they're seeing you, put these tracks together, and I feel like that is kind of like storytelling too. It's people are getting invested in hearing you make this beat, and they're like, oh, that beat is fire. And then when you actually put it all together and you add the vocals to it and mix it down and do all that, then it's like,
Mm.
it paid off. I was waiting to hear the song that you were gonna make on this beat. So that's
Ah.
what I like about it too. Like you're giving people, something to look forward to as well. And something I think too for all artists, I think like I don't know if you got professional photos, but they look professional enough
Oh yeah,
that they're
those
on your
yeah.
page.
Yeah. The label told me
So
I needed to do that.
people need that's for real. I think if you're really taking yourself serious, you should definitely have promo photos for sure. You know what I mean? When I know it's like the biggest I don't know, pet peeve of mine when I'm trying to put stuff together and then I ask somebody, do you have any promo photos or anything like that? And they don't have promo photos. I'm like, come on, man, you got to get promo photos, man.
it's kind of like what you said in like this digital world we live in. It's like, yo, it's kind of like, yo, it's kind of like actors always got headshots on deck, you
Yeah.
know, like like people who make like directors and editors always got their reel on deck. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People are gonna see you before they hear you, especially in this world that we're living in. You know, we're
Hmm.
connected to these phones that are very visually stimulating, and they always, even if they hear you first, they want to put a face to a name.
Yeah.
And imagine if the face that they see is a selfie that you took in your bathroom mirror with the toothpaste on the wall. It's gonna
Facts.
it's gonna like be a little bit of a divestment for them on their end. I'm like, oh, that shit was dope, but this boy got crust on. He got like Colgate. He got Colgate on the fucking. He got Colgate on the mirror.
Yeah.
I can see the shower curtain in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. People
But yeah,
pay a lot of attention to that, all those things, man. And it seems like it's so minor, but I don't know. I just it's just kind of like, in the business that, we both want to be a part of. It's just like that's one of those things. It's like it's all about appearance and just showing who you are. Even I think that itself is an art form, and it's creative in itself. Just for you to
yeah,
do it in a real way, to be like, hey, what I mean, these are my promo photos, whatever, but this is me, who I am, and then you incorporate the things that you do behind the scenes as well, and just show people like, hey, I'm a real person, and I'm just like you. I like to wear nice clothes. I like to do this. I like to make beats. I go record shopping, like you said. Like I do a lot of normal stuff, and I'm an artist on top of it. So like this is who I am. But definitely like your page, man. I'm very big into that. I love like looking at people's Instagram page and just looking at the different things, and like your page is definitely is pleasing to the eyes. I'll say at least.
I guess I try to put my best foot forward, even though if I, even though if I feel as though I think that's the thing is like, you can always see the effort put into it, even though if I personally think I'm not doing it correctly, or if I need to do it better, I'm
Mm-hmm.
always gonna at least give it 100%. Be, it might not be right, but it's always gonna be like professional, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense. Um, so for you, what's your goal? Are you like, hey, I want to get signed to a big label, or is it like I want to be independent, or like I'm taking opportunities as they come? Like, what is the goal for you that you want to accomplish?
I think it's the third one. It's like I want to take opportunities as they come in the sense of like there's always the short game and the long game, kind of like golf. The long game is like whoever who whoever's gonna knock at my door at the right time, I'm always gonna answer, you know,
Yeah,
whether if it's like a deal with a label and being signed as an artist, or if it's a distribution deal, being signed as an independent label, going the next step in that route, or whether it's like a joint venture with a label to to take my little label endeavor and merge those together. That like any one of those is going to be the next level to what I'm doing. So like none of them are bad options to me, you know. It's all depending on how you navigate those options. Uh
yeah, definitely.
and the short game is I want to produce for more artists. So like actually produce for artists, like not just make the beats and send it off them and have them rap and go their merry way. Like I want to do that too as well, but like be in the studio and like give my insight and like, yo, if we're gonna lay down like 4 tracks together, like I want to make sure these are 4 tracks that are gonna represent you well, you know, that's gonna bring people into you. It's gonna sell somebody who's in Japan on you, you know?
Yeah, nice, nice. So you have aspirations one day of like having like your own label and having like your own artists and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. And I wanted to be like kind of like what we talked about earlier, to be an eclectic of multiple tastes. I don't want it to just be like a label full of rappers, because it's like, you know, like from two standpoints. Is like a label full of rappers is cool, but then it's like we're only gonna be making rap money, you know, and we're only gonna be doing rap shit. And hey, if I have a pop artist on my label, or the case may be, it's like, okay, she's doing stupid numbers. She could fund a lot of these rap endeavors that might not sell as well because we're making hardcore rap tunes and our demographic is this small, and she's
Yeah.
reaching, or they're reaching like these artists, and they're reaching these numbers. So it's like I want to have like a multi-headed kind of thing.
Yeah, nah, I think that's dope, man, to expand and just to kind of like, I like how you say you want to like help other artists and stuff like that. And it's like I'm kind of like the same way, man. You know, I've talked to, you know, a couple people about this, but it's like, you know, kind of like what I want to head towards too is like I want to have like my own like podcast network. You know what I mean? And it's like I want to give those chances to those younger guys who I know, like, you know, well, not even younger, just newer, that I know who have a good product and, you know, that fans should listen to. You know, I kind of wanted to be like that multiple, you know what I mean, not just wrestling, not just hip hop, but like a mixture of things as well, and just have like everybody like on there and like who I just think are
Bring
dope
fresh
guys.
faces to the scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be dope, man. And you know, I'm that's what I'm heading towards too. It's kind of like everything's like intertwined, man. Just like you said, like rap and wrestling and both worlds, they're very intertwined when you try and get to those goals.
And it's kind of great because it's like you yourself are made up of multiple things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's other people who represent those multiple things you made up of. So you want to bring it in and show other people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, imagine like, let's say if you wanted to do like a podcast on wealth, you know, and you're into like building wealth, right? And then it's kind of like, oh, I've been listening to this one dude, he's young or he's new to the scene, but like his insight and the way he talks and how he breaks down these intricate things, he makes them so simple that anybody could listen to. That's something I want to have in my arsenal because I want to share it and I want other people to understand that too as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's how it has to be, man. And you know, I think at the end of the day, it's just about uplifting your people and, you know, just getting them to, you know, listen to dope things that are out there and to support. There's a lot of dope people out here doing stuff that I do. There's a lot of dope people that are doing things that you do. There's a lot of dope people out there, and I feel like we get caught up in the in commercial and, you know, just listening to things that because somebody else tells us that we should listen to it and that this is what's hot and this is the person you should be listening to when it comes to podcasts. This is the person you should be watching on YouTube and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of dope guys out here, and it's like sometimes they don't got somebody to help them, or you know what I mean? They just don't got the right people to listen to them. So it's like that's like the biggest crime right there, man. You got somebody making so much great talent, so much dope music, and it's like no one's there to listen to it.
It's kind of like you know how you find an artist or a podcast, or you find like something and you put it in your group chat and no one pays attention. It's like you want to bring. It's kind of like, bro, I'm giving this dude is heat. I'm telling y'all, pay attention. I feel as though like everyone has gone through that where they bring the dope shit to the group chat and they want people to understand like, yo, this is gonna like it's good.
Yeah.
It might not be what everyone else is doing, or it might not be the popular thing at the moment. Cause it's funny you said it. That's what someone brought Lil Uzi Vert to my ears in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but this dude is nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And people, and like even, and back then people were writing them off, right? But like, luckily the chick who brought Uzi to me was like in the know. She was like, yo, this dude is going to be something in 5 years.
Yeah.
And she was right. And now he's the thing now he's the standard. So it's like, yeah, you need people. And I guess it's like, you need people to like keep pushing it forward so you can have more people and have more voices. So the standard could not just be as monotonous, but it could be as like complex as possible.
Yeah, man, definitely. So let's say when when your career is done and you decide like, hey, I'm not making music no more, if that day ever comes, what do you want to be known for when your career is said and done?
Damn. I didn't know I was gonna be answering such big life questions. That's crazy. What I want to be known for. I want to be known for not the guy who did it all, but the guy who tried it all, you know, who tried, who made an attempt, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I did music and I decided, all right, I want to jump into F1 racing, let me try, you know, let me try to produce a documentary. Let me try to like make a movie. I want to be the guy who has tried everything. Because I know me personally, I feel as though I can be successful in the things that I try in. So I don't care about the success. I care about the attempt more than anything. So I want to be known as the guy who tried it all.
Nice. Yeah, man. Definitely. I always say that, man. I'd rather be that person that like tried and know I failed at something than to always be wondering your whole life. Like,
it's way more
I wish I
freeing.
would have did this.
It's way more freeing to know that you actually like, because like the outcome is the outcome. It's gonna happen, you know. But if you don't make an attempt, you never know the outcome, and that actually is what's gonna irk you more. I don't know how people could live with that. It's like sometimes like, oh, I wanted to become a firefighter. Then why don't you go to fucking fire? Why don't you go to the academy, bro? You never knew, bro. You could have been fighting fires right now.
Yeah,
but you're an accountant.
That's how it is. I think it's a lot of. I think it's a lot of. You know what I mean? It's just a risk, man. I talk to a lot of people, and I'm just like yo, just do it. You know what I mean? Like just try it.
Man. Shit, I get scared too. Like it's so like because it's like you're a person who's putting your voice into a microphone and that's over beats and you're putting yourself and your experiences on wax. That's very vulnerable at like on some level. That's like, for lack of a better terms, you're putting yourself out there to get roasted and to get clowned, you know. But you like, who cares? Like in the grand scheme of things, like who cares? Like no one really cares. Like, and that's the freeing thing about like whatever you try at is like you're the person who cares the most. That's why you're probably holding yourself back. The person next to you probably doesn't care as much as what you're doing.
True. No, definitely true. Oh man, this has been like, yo, really good, man. I definitely like I said, I appreciate you coming on. For fans that want to listen to your music, they want to connect with you on social media, how would they find all that?
Just like the label has like coached me on this one now. You can just find me at Spec Kay Music. So that's SPECKAY Music. On all of the handles, you know, the IG, Twitter, SpecK.com. Those are the main three ways to reach me. And I'm not like, I talk back, you know. It's like if you hit me in a DM, I'm gonna hit you back. If you want to, like, I even give you like music that's being unreleased. I'll send you some shit that just so I can like I want to connect, you know. I ain't got nothing to lose here. You want a song before it comes out? Boom, like listen to it. Please listen to it. I want you to listen to it, you know. So you can find me at Instagram, Twitter, Spec Kay Music. We have a song coming out on the 16th of December called Russian. So be on the lookout for that. Barry's actually, I'm almost done wrapping up the video for Barry. So once we get done with the shooting, we're going to take it to the editing bay, and then we're going to chop that up. We're going to make that night. We're going to make that look pretty for YouTube. And also I'm on YouTube too. YouTube, was it /Spec Kay? Facebook, Spec Kay everything, you know, Spec Kay everything. So yeah.
Nice. Dope. Definitely make sure you guys check that out for sure. Follow, listen to the music, all that good stuff. Definitely a dope young artist here. Like I said, once again, bro, I'm thankful for the connection. I'm glad you came through and that, you know, we got this done, bro.
Oh man, hey, I'm thankful for what you do, and I like kind of like what we said earlier. I love to see young blacks just doing their thing, just wanting to just be themselves. Like, thank you for your expression, man, because it opens other people up to express. And you're probably inspiring people that you don't even know.
True. Yeah, true. Well, I'm gonna keep on trying to inspire for sure. Um, but definitely make sure you check out this episode. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, retweet, all that good stuff. Definitely, you can check out Rap and Wrestle once again. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can also check out Rap and Wrestle, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere you get all your streaming needs at. And for this episode, it's Derek, it's Spec Kay, and we are both out.